Hey guys, it's Zach. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where I'm continuing my 2021 fantasy football preview videos. Now with these videos, I'm going beyond the box score, looking at the film for some of the more intriguing options in fantasy football. Today's video is about Taysom Hill, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. It has certainly been an interesting offseason for the Saints, especially at the quarterback position. Drew Brees retired. The Saints signed Taysom Hill to an extension, and they brought back Jameis Winston on a one-year contract. Now, as of March, when I'm recording this video, it looks like there will be a quarterback competition in the preseason between Winston and Hill. Now, I'm sure people in the fantasy community are going to be rooting for Hill to win that job after what he did for part of the 2020 season. Hill made 4 starts at quarterback for the Saints last season. He averaged about 21 fantasy points per game in those starts. That puts him in line with the numbers for Ryan Tannehill and Tom Brady, who were both top 10 options at the position last season. So no, you probably won't be able to play him at your tight end position next year, but I'm sure you want to know, should I put him in my quarterback position in 2021? Now, we all know he's sort of a jack of all trades, and we know about his rushing ability. In those 4 starts at quarterback alone, he had 209 rushing yards, which puts him on a pace of 836, which is more than what Kyler Murray had last year, to put that in perspective. He also had 4 rushing touchdowns during those 4 games. But I think for Hill, the question is, how does he perform as a quarterback? How does he perform throwing the ball? And if he wins this job during the preseason, can he keep it? So what I did, I looked back at the 4 games that Taysom Hill started at quarterback in 2020. Here I'm going to show you some of the highlights and some of the lowlights from his performance. And the first play I'm going to show you was almost an interception in the end zone. Throw it into double coverage there. Next one, you can't really blame him for the incompletion. This is a drop by Michael Thomas, I believe. Pretty good throw. Next one, I'm not really sure what it is. Quick throw to Emmanuel Sanders on the outside and just skips it. This one I liked. It's a play-action pass. He has time. It's not there right away, and he kind of continues to look downfield, and then eventually finds Michael Thomas there. This next one is what I call the Nick Foles deep ball. So underthrown that it's actually a good throw against the defense because they just don't expect it. It's very underthrown. Sanders comes back for it. He actually ends up fumbling this ball. I'm going to show some of the rushing here. This one's 4th and goal. Everyone seems to know what's coming, but I think it just shows a lot of faith in them to call that play on a 4th and goal. Here, it's a pretty good play action throw. They seem to do a lot of play action with Taysom Hill and quarterback. Puts it right where it needs to be to Michael Thomas, and he makes a nice catch. This is maybe his best rushing play of the season. Scramble, and really shows his speed to get to the corner here and to the pylon for the touchdown. This one is another designed run, but it's on a 2nd down at midfield. I think that was pretty significant. But here you'll see at the end, he's got to protect the football. Fumble, Atlanta takes over. Next one, I want to show you the formation. You got Kamara in motion, all the receivers to the left side, but it's still a designed run all the way. I just like that play call. I like the formation. This next one is his longest completion of the day. Really got shut down against Denver. Had under 100 passing yards in this one. This one he forces on an interception. Probably shouldn't have thrown it. Does take a bad bounce here up into the air, but it's picked. Next one, bottom of the screen. Watch Jared Cook. Comes in motion. Never open. One guy got some eventually double teamed by the time he throws this. Definitely should be intercepted. I don't think Jared Cook even expected that ball. He was so covered. Next up, another design run around midfield. Gets about 15 to 20 yards there. This is a good back shoulder throw at the top of the screen to Michael Thomas. His 3rd start against Atlanta, his 2nd game against Atlanta, this is probably his best start from a quarterback, but I don't like this at all. Watch. Probably want to throw to the guy on the outside there. Instead, underthrows it to the guy that's more covered, and it's incomplete. Now we're going to show you his scrambling ability again, just because I think it's worth showing that There's only a handful of quarterbacks in the league that can turn this play here into a 40-plus yard run. Again, shows off the speed down to the 15-yard line. Now, not all touchdowns are created equally. Here you're going to see towards the top of the screen coming across the field, wide open wide receiver in the end zone for the touchdown. The fantasy points count, but not much Hill did well there. Next throw is a crossing route, which I'm going to slow down because I think he picks the wrong wide receiver here. You'll see the guy running towards the far sideline, I think it's going to be much more wide open. Instead, he throws to the bottom of the screen to Michael Thomas and should have been intercepted. He wasn't open. Next play, you're going to see some nice arm strength from Taysom Hill. 3rd and 17, but watch the defense. It's like their controller got disconnected here. They're really playing in the prevent, and they just freeze. And Thomas at the bottom of the screen is wide open for some reason. Next play, Taysom Hill is going to show off the arm strength, but it's not accurate at all. You'll see his receiver falls down, but I don't think if he stayed up, he would have had any chance of catching this. Pretty good throw over the middle coming up from Hill here. I do like, you'll see the two defenders around the linebacker position. Gets it over top of them, over to Sanders, about a 17-yard completion. Next, decent throw on the slant for a touchdown to Jared Cook over the middle. Tight window throw here to Michael Thomas. I like this one as well. Next one is just a 10-yard out at the top of the screen to Jared Cook. Not a highlight reel play, but these are the types of throws that he needs to make if he's going to be a successful quarterback, and he makes it. Here's one where I like the pocket presence and the toughness from Taysom Hill. You're going to see pressure on the left side, stays in the pocket, takes the hit, delivers the throw, and completes it. Now this should be an easy throw, but it's behind Jared Cook over the middle here. Needs to really give his receiver a chance, and you'll see it's way behind him. And while this was Hill's best day probably as a quarterback, you saw plenty of mistakes against the second game against the Falcons. Here's another one. Tries to make something happen. This ends up being a fumble recovered by the Falcons. Next play is going to be a throw to Alvin Kamara on the top of the screen. He's going to come across from the bottom to the top and just doesn't lead him well enough. You'll see he has to stop there for the ball, and the defender gets his hands in there. Now we'll move on to his final start of the season, his battle with Jalen Hurts. Hurts wins this battle. Hill did have to throw the ball a lot in this game, so we got to see a lot from him in this one because they trailed for most of this game. He did have a few nice moments throwing deep balls. Here we'll see a nice throw over the middle here. Next one I'm not too sure about. An on-target throw to Jared Cook over the middle might get him in trouble. It could be intercepted, but he still doesn't give Cook much of a chance to catch this one. You'll see it's behind him and too high. Next one isn't super impressive, but it's what you want to see, especially if you're an Alvin Kamara owner. Gets the ball right in his hands and tries to let him make the play. Didn't see a lot of targets for Kamara in those 4 starts, but this game he gets him involved in the passing game. Tries again here, but he's pressured, throws it just too hard, clanks off of Kamara's hands, and it's an interception. Next one is a throw to Michael Thomas at the top of the screen on a curl. Bad timing on this one, though. You'll see how long Michael Thomas has to wait for this ball after the curl. Should have been delivered about now. Instead, it's about a half a second too late. Luckily, Thomas pushed off of Darius Slay there, so he's still open. Here, nothing's open again, but it's nice that Taysom Hill does have this scramble ability. Turns nothing into about an 8-yard run. Next, a short pass to Emmanuel Sanders at the bottom of the screen, but it's low, it's off target. If he actually puts it higher and more outside, he might actually give him a chance to catch the ball and maybe even pick up a few extra yards. Here is a pretty good throw over the middle to Michael Thomas. Big surprise. Probably the best deep ball I saw from Hill. Bottom of the screen, you'll see nice route from Emmanuel Sanders. And it's going to be a good catch too, but Hill puts it on target. Touchdown. But next we're back to him not protecting the football. You'll see he's going to get pressure from the left side of the screen after he rolls out. No awareness that it's coming. Fumble. Eagles take over. You're going to be looking at the bottom of the screen for the next throw. It's a quick out, and this throw has to be perfect, and it's just not off target, too far outside. A little high. Probably a lot high. Now the Saints are in comeback mode. You're going to see at the top of the screen, pretty nice throw from Hill to a pretty open receiver, but nice throw. Accurate. Next is not a good throw. This probably should have been a touchdown. You'll see on the bottom of the screen to Emmanuel Sanders. Throw on the run. Nope, doesn't give him a chance. Next one is, though, across the middle. His reliable tight end, Jared Cook, comes down with the ball in the end zone for the touchdown. While we did see some accuracy from Taysom Hill during the season, he did complete more than 70% of his passes. His play as a quarterback was inconsistent at best, sometimes pretty bad, and the deep ball from Taysom Hill left a lot to be desired, while there were a couple nice deep throws here and there. In this video, I showed you plenty of times when Taysom Hill struggled with protecting the football. He had 2 interceptions during those 4 games. It easily could have been a lot more. And he had 5 fumbles during last season. As much as the rushing ability is such an advantage in fantasy at the quarterback position, I would definitely have caution when it comes to Taysom Hill as my starting fantasy quarterback. If he does win the job in the preseason and is the week 1 starter for the Saints, I wouldn't expect him to keep that job for 16 games. If you're drafting Taysom Hill in your fantasy draft in 2021, don't wait too long to draft another option and to stash them on your bench. I think it might be a question of when, not if, Taysom Hill eventually does get benched during the season and we see some Jameis Winston. So that's it for this video. Make sure you click that like button and that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see me feature in my next video. Be sure to follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Mr. Zach T. I'll see you next time, and go Birds.